Hey friends, it's Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here today. Here we talk about all things Disney as well as how to plan your Walt Disney World vacation. So stay tuned. Alright, so there are so many wonderful places to eat at Walt Disney World. It's very difficult to choose. There are literally hundreds of restaurants. So this is gonna be a kind of mini series of where we decide where you're going to eat, how to budget for your food expenses, as well as whether or not the dining plan might be right for you and your family. So let's jump right on in. Today what we're going to talk about is how to decide where you are going to eat on your Walt Disney World vacation. In order to do that, you're going to have to do a little bit of research. Disney has everything from snacks to quick service dining to table service dining and signature dining, character meals. There's so many options. So I'm gonna break it down into categories for you so that we can understand what the different levels are of eating at Disney World. So the first one is gonna be snacks. There are a ton of snacks at Disney World. A lot of these can be really iconic, things like Dole Whips and Mickey pretzels, churros, and etc. There are also some others that are a little less known but still really delicious. Like there's a carrot cake cookie at Hollywood Studios, and there's the lumpia thing at Pandora, and there's a lot of other fun little snacks like that that are all around Disney World. This one, it's a little trickier, I would say, to plan for, but you definitely want to make sure that you plan on eating some really good snacks while you're at Disney World. Another pro tip with snacks, if your family is really big on eating snacks and you maybe aren't huge on eating huge meals but you really enjoy snacks, think about sharing. A lot of times the portions are big enough to share, and that way you can save more money doing that, but you can also try more food that you may not be able to do if you're only eating each snack by yourself. So that's a really good tip, so you can have a little bit more. However, with this, make sure you don't get too full on snacks, because then you're not going to have room when it comes to actual meal time, which brings us into our next category, and that is going to be quick service dining or counter service dining. So what this means is basically you walk into the restaurant, you go up to the counter, you order your food, they give you your food, and then you go sit down. Kind of like when you go to like a fast food place. Generally, it's pretty similar to that. There are all kinds of different types of food. There are your normal park fare, hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken nuggets, all that stuff. But then you can also get like seafood and steak and all kinds of other fancy things that you don't normally see in theme parks, but you do see them at Walt Disney World. The nice thing about quick service dining is that it is a little bit cheaper. I mean, it is Disney, so it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than eating at a table service restaurant. So maybe your family doesn't have a huge budget for food. These are really great options that you can still get some really delicious meals, but for a little bit lower price point. Also, you don't actually need a reservation for any of these, so you can basically just pick any of them, walk right on in, and get your food right away. You usually don't have to wait too terribly long, you just gotta wait in line to order. So that's really nice if you are crunched for time. These are really easy options. You can basically just grab and go if you needed to. Another really cool tip, this is actually kind of a new-ish thing for Disney. They have this thing called mobile ordering. So what you do is on your phone, you have the My Disney Experience app. You log on to that and you can basically place your order ahead of time on the app and then submit it, and then it'll text you or notify you when your food is ready, and you just walk right on up to the counter and grab it. So that's a really good tip, especially on days that the park is really busy. Seriously, use it. It will save you so much time, so you're not having to stand in line forever for your food. A few examples of this is going to be Woody's Lunchbox, Satuli Canteen, the Casey's Corner, and Columbia Harbor House. Sunshine Seasons is another really good one, and many many, many more. There's a ton of them. The next level of dining at Walt Disney World is going to be your table service and signature dining restaurants. So these are going to be your fancier, they're not always super fancier, but they are a little nicer. They're where you actually go, you sit at a table, you have a server, they take your order. It's a little bit longer dining experience. Basically, it's kind of like when you go sit down at a normal restaurant. Signature dining is the fancier end of this, so those are like the most expensive ones. They're a little nicer. Sometimes they're a little more formal, or they are a character meal perhaps. Now these ones are a little bit more expensive. However, portions usually are very large at Disney World, so really do think about sharing. If you're someone that you have a really large appetite, don't do this, but if you're someone that you maybe don't eat quite so much, do think about sharing, because if you are wanting to get an appetizer or maybe a dessert or something like that, you will have room in your stomach, but also that'll save you a little bit of money so that you can actually afford to purchase those. Mark Allen and I are very big on sharing. Pretty sure we share almost every single meal because we want to try everything, and that's the only way that we have enough room in our stomach to do so. So that's a really good tip. If you are wanting to try a lot of food, do think about sharing your food, whether it's snacks, your meals, anything like that. These restaurants, these are the ones that you have to have reservations for. So at your 180-day mark from your trip, this is when you're going to get online and you're going to actually book all of those reservations. Now there are some that are going to be very, very popular and very hard to get. So this is going to be restaurants like Be Our Guest and Cinderella's Royal Table and a lot of other character meals and a lot of those. So make sure you kind of find out what are those most popular ones, the ones that you're wanting to get, and make sure that those are the very first ones that you book on your 180-day mark. Doesn't matter what day it is on your trip, make sure that that is the first one that you do so that you can actually get those reservations. A few other examples of table service restaurants would be places like Le Cellier and Ohana's and maybe Jico at Animal Kingdom Lodge, or Be Our Guest is a really big one. Now Be Our Guest is actually a little bit different because they are a table service restaurant for dinner, and then they are a quick service restaurant for breakfast and lunch. So something to think about. It's still very pricey there, but if you are wanting a little bit cheaper experience, maybe think about going for breakfast or lunch, since you will get to still be inside of the castle and you don't have to pay that really expensive dinner price. All of these types of restaurants, you're definitely going for the experience. The food is wonderful, but really the ambiance is what really sets these restaurants apart from all of the other ones at Disney World. So if you're wanting something very special, maybe you have a special occasion or something you're celebrating, or maybe you just want to have one nice meal or more, you can have more too, that's fine. But definitely think about at least booking a few table service or signature dining experiences. Now you need to research what restaurants you're wanting to eat at. You know the different tiers and different levels, but how do we know what are all of the restaurants available to me? So my number one is YouTube. YouTube has been so helpful. There's a YouTube channel that my husband and I really love watching. That's Disney Food Blog. So go check them out because they're amazing. But they basically their entire channel is about food, and they review different restaurants, they review different snack items and food items, and I learned a lot of restaurants and things to eat that I didn't even know were available at Disney World. So definitely YouTube is a very good tool to use. The second one that I usually recommend is to actually go to the Disney website. They have a list of every single restaurant that they have on property, as well as their menus, and a lot of times the pricing is with those menus. So you can actually go through and look and see what each restaurant has available to eat, and you can kind of almost pre-think out maybe what types of food you would want to eat at each restaurant, and we'll kind of get into a little bit more of that at a later video, but that is a really, really good tool to kind of see what would interest you and your family. The third one that I would recommend, and we don't usually do this one as often, but that is going to be blogs. So kind of similar to YouTube, you can find a lot of reviews, you can find a lot of pictures and different information about different restaurants just by Googling different blogs of Disney food reviews. So definitely check that out. If you're not into YouTube, you're more of a blog person, it's a good tool for you. So hopefully that was enough to kind of just get you guys started as far as researching. So get online, start looking at different restaurants, start making a list of maybe your top places that you want to eat when you go on your trip. Please comment down below what your favorite restaurants are, and maybe if you have some favorite ways of how you like to research for your eating experiences when you go on vacation. Please do let me know. I want to know. Next time, we're gonna work on the budget, and we're gonna talk about how you can take all of this research and actually turn it into numbers for your trip so that you can actually start figuring out, okay, how much do I need to save for my food when we go on vacation? So please make sure that you comment down below. Please give me a really big thumbs up. And if you like me, please do subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification next to the subscribe. That will actually notify you every time that I upload a new video. So please do join us next time. We'll see ya. Bye, friends.